The city of Metronia was alive with motion, its streets filled with cars, people, and the hum of daily life. Towering glass buildings reflected the sunlight, making the city sparkle like a jewel. Among these skyscrapers stood the headquarters of Luminex Corporation, a company known for its wealth and innovation. Inside, employees moved quickly, carrying tablets and documents, each person absorbed in their own world of deadlines and decisions. At the center of it all was Nora, the CEO. Nora was a woman of remarkable intelligence and unyielding ambition. She had built her company from the ground up, overcoming challenges that would have crushed others. Her presence in any room commanded attention, and her reputation for solving impossible problems was unmatched. Yet, behind her confident demeanor, there was a deep worry. Something had gone missing from her company, something valuable enough to threaten everything she had worked for. A confidential project had disappeared months ago, one that could revolutionize the company's future. The files contained ideas, calculations, and strategies worth millions of dollars. Nora had tried everything to recover them. She hired top investigators, questioned every employee, and even sought help from outside experts. Each lead ended in disappointment, and her frustration grew. The project's importance demanded immediate action, and Nora authorized a fund of $50 million to find the person responsible. Despite all her efforts, the truth remained hidden. The person she sought walked through the same hallways she did every day, yet she had never noticed him. Sam was the janitor, a quiet man who moved through the office with ease, cleaning floors, emptying trash bins, and restocking supplies. His uniform was simple, and he blended into the background. Employees rarely paid attention to him, and Nora often passed him without even a second glance. Sam was not ordinary. He had a gift for technology and problem-solving. Months ago, he had noticed a flaw in the company's security system. He accessed the restricted files one night, not to steal them, but to understand the project and improve it. He worked quietly, studying the data and making careful adjustments. His intention was never to harm the company or take credit. He only wanted to see the project succeed. Nora had no idea. Every day she walked past Sam, focused on her meetings and emails, unaware of the brilliance hidden in plain sight. Sam greeted her politely, and she nodded absent-mindedly, never realizing the importance of the man in front of her. The irony was bitter. She spent millions searching the world for someone, while the person capable of solving the mystery was under her nose. Her search had become an obsession. She held meetings that lasted hours, planning strategies, questioning reports, and reviewing logs. Every consultant she hired gave her new possibilities, but none led to the solution. Each night, she returned to her office, tired yet restless, wondering if she would ever uncover the truth. Her determination was relentless, but so was her frustration. Meanwhile, Sam carried on with his daily routine. He moved silently through hallways, mopped floors, and made sure the offices were tidy. He had grown accustomed to being unnoticed, and he preferred it that way. While others rushed through their days, he observed quietly, noting patterns and opportunities. His mind worked in ways others could not see, and he waited for the right moment to reveal his work. One evening, the office was empty. The lights cast long shadows across the marble floors, and the hum of computers was the only sound. Sam stopped near the server room, checking the systems one more time. He made small adjustments, ensuring everything was functioning perfectly. The project files were safe, and he had even enhanced some calculations to improve the results. His work was meticulous, precise, and unseen. Nora often thought of the project at night. She could not sleep, worrying about the consequences of failure. The pressure from the board and investors weighed heavily on her. Every meeting felt critical, every decision life-changing. She could not understand how such a large project could vanish without a trace. Her mind raced through every possible scenario, yet she never considered that the answer might be so close. Sam continued his routine the next day. He pushed his cleaning cart down the corridors, greeting employees with a nod. People barely noticed him, absorbed in their own concerns. Yet he had a quiet satisfaction in his work. He knew that the project was safe, and he understood that his moment to be recognized would come at the right time. Patience was his ally, and he moved through the office with confidence that was invisible to everyone else. Nora held another meeting, reviewing the company's security protocols. She questioned the IT team and asked about unusual activity on the servers. They reported nothing significant, and she left feeling frustrated. She could not find the missing project, and every effort seemed to lead to a dead end. The $50 million allocated for the search seemed both necessary and futile. She wished for a breakthrough that never came. At the same time, Sam entered a quiet office to clean. He noticed a minor issue with the system and corrected it without drawing attention. He tested the security measures and verified that everything was working properly. The files remained secure, and the project was protected. Sam smiled quietly to himself, knowing that he was keeping the company safe in ways no one realized. Days passed, and Nora's frustration deepened. She organized conferences with external experts and reviewed every employee's work history. She left no possibility unexplored, yet the project remained missing. The company's future hung in balance, and the pressure was intense. Yet, Sam moved quietly through the same space, unnoticed and unrecognized, his mind always one step ahead. One morning, Nora rushed through the hallways to her next meeting. She nearly collided with Sam, who was mopping near the entrance. He stepped aside politely and nodded. For a brief moment, she felt a flicker of awareness. There was something different about this janitor, something she could not place. But she was late for her meeting and dismissed the thought, continuing her hurried pace without a second look. Sam returned to his tasks, continuing to clean and organize. He knew the importance of the project and the risk it carried. He had seen the potential consequences of failure and took care to remain invisible while protecting the company's work. His actions were deliberate and careful, each step planned to avoid detection while ensuring the project's safety. The irony of the situation was remarkable. Nora, with all her resources, was searching everywhere for a solution, spending millions, while the answer had been with her all along. She passed Sam daily, ignoring his presence, unaware that the very person she overlooked was the one holding the key. Yet the moment for discovery had not yet come, and both of them moved forward in their separate worlds, unaware of the collision of fate that was approaching. The office buzzed with the energy of employees, yet a quiet tension lingered in the air. The missing project was a shadow over every discussion, every email, every decision. Nora's mind was consumed by the search, and the pressure from the board was relentless. Sam, in contrast, worked silently, maintaining order and ensuring security. The contrast between their worlds was striking, yet both were part of the same story, connected by the project that remained hidden. As the day ended, Nora left the building exhausted but determined. She promised herself that she would find the solution, no matter the cost. Sam locked up supplies and finished his cleaning duties, quietly satisfied with the work he had done. Neither knew that their paths were about to intersect in a way that would change everything. The story of discovery, recognition, and unexpected brilliance was only beginning, and the first chapter closed with both characters moving forward, unaware of the revelation that awaited them. The following morning, the city was quiet under a soft light that streamed through the glass buildings. Inside Luminex Corporation, employees arrived early, their footsteps echoing along the polished floors. Nora entered with a sense of purpose, her mind focused entirely on the missing project. She had spent weeks searching and was determined that today would bring progress. Nothing would distract her from finding the solution. She called a meeting with her senior team in a sleek conference room. Charts and reports were displayed on large screens, and the tension in the room was palpable. Each member presented their findings from the ongoing investigation. Despite all the leads and suggestions, nothing pointed to a resolution. Nora listened carefully, absorbing every detail, yet her frustration was growing. She could not understand how a project so critical could vanish without a trace. While the meeting went on, Sam moved through the hallways with his cleaning cart. His steps were quiet, and he carried out his work efficiently. He had become familiar with the daily rhythm of the building and knew how to avoid drawing attention. Sam checked the floors, wiped tables, and arranged supplies, all while keeping an eye on the servers and equipment he maintained in secret. His mind was always alert, analyzing patterns and monitoring activity. Later, Nora returned to her office to review the project logs herself. She was determined to uncover any clue the investigators might have missed. The office was silent except for the soft hum of computers. She scrolled through digital records, comparing timestamps and access points. Every detail mattered, and she noticed small inconsistencies in the system. Her heart raced as a possibility formed in her mind, though she could not yet believe it. Sam was in the storage area when he noticed a minor error in the system. He stopped immediately and corrected it with practiced hands. No one was around to see him, but he felt a quiet satisfaction. The project files were safe, and every adjustment he made strengthened the security. He understood the risks if someone discovered the files prematurely, so he remained careful and discreet, performing his work without seeking recognition. That afternoon, a new security analyst joined the building to assist in the investigation. He questioned employees, ran software checks, and reviewed camera footage. Everyone appeared normal, and there were no obvious signs of tampering. Nora observed the process, her eyes scanning every screen. Her determination never wavered. She could feel that the answer was closer than she had imagined, but she could not yet identify it. In another part of the building, Sam moved quietly near the server room. He noticed an irregularity in the log files and paused to investigate. He understood immediately what had happened. He repaired the error and tested the system again to ensure everything was functioning properly. The files remained secure, and the project continued to be protected under his careful watch. Sam's skill and foresight were remarkable, yet invisible to the rest of the company. Later in the day, Nora attended a briefing with her board members. Their concern was evident, and every discussion revolved around the missing project. They suggested hiring external experts and scanning every employee's background. Nora agreed to each proposal, though her mind lingered on something she could not explain. She felt that the solution was near, yet she could not pinpoint the source. Her instincts told her that the key was much closer than anyone realized. Meanwhile, Sam completed his tasks in the common areas. He wiped surfaces, arranged chairs, and ensured the office remained clean. Employees barely noticed him, focused on their own responsibilities. Yet Sam had been quietly observing the digital systems for months, noticing small patterns and changes. His work had been continuous and careful, performed without fanfare. He understood that the project's safety depended on his vigilance. That evening, Nora stayed late in the office. She was exhausted but could not stop thinking about the project. Her desk was covered in papers, reports, and notes. She reviewed the logs herself, searching for any hint that the investigators had missed. Her fingers tapped nervously against the table as she scanned every detail. The office was empty except for her, the quiet amplifying her focus and tension. Sam passed through the office hallway quietly, returning from his final rounds. He noticed lights left on and computers running without supervision. With careful hands, he adjusted the systems, making sure everything was secure. The files were untouched, and the project remained safe. Sam's dedication and attention to detail ensured that no error could threaten the work he had protected for months. The next morning, Nora called another meeting with her team. Her determination had grown stronger overnight. She asked specific questions, challenging her investigators to review every employee's activity once more. Each suggestion they made was carefully considered, and she listened to all details without interruption. Her focus was absolute, and she refused to leave any possibility unexplored. Sam moved through the corridors with his cleaning supplies. He avoided drawing attention but noticed small technical anomalies that others might have missed. He repaired each issue immediately, ensuring the integrity of the system. No one saw his careful movements, and he blended into the background effortlessly. His vigilance was unmatched, though hidden from the eyes of everyone around him. During the meeting, Nora noticed a slight irregularity in the employee access logs. She studied the data carefully and traced the activity to a section of the building she had not examined closely before. Suspicion formed in her mind, though she could not imagine what it might mean. She decided to investigate personally, following the digital trail that led her deeper into the offices. Sam was in the same section, cleaning quietly and maintaining his usual routine. He noticed Nora approaching, carrying a tablet in her hand. She paused near him, observing the area. For a moment, their eyes met. Nora felt a spark of curiosity, sensing that something was unusual about this janitor. Yet she did not act on it immediately, focused on the investigation and unaware of the full truth. That evening, Nora reviewed security footage herself. She noticed unusual patterns near the storage and server areas, yet they were subtle. Her mind raced with possibilities. Could someone on the cleaning staff have knowledge of the systems? The thought seemed improbable, yet the evidence suggested that someone had been accessing files in ways no one had considered. She felt both hope and confusion at the same time. Sam completed his work for the day. He emptied trash bins, polished floors, and restocked supplies. Every movement was precise and calculated, ensuring the office remained orderly. He understood the importance of discretion and worked silently, performing duties that appeared ordinary to others but were part of his careful plan to protect the project. Later that night, Nora decided to conduct a final test herself. She sat alone in the office, scanning logs and reviewing digital activity. She noticed patterns that pointed towards someone she had overlooked daily. Her heart raced as she realized the possibility. Could the janitor, the man she had ignored for months, have a connection to the project? The idea was startling, yet the evidence was clear enough to warrant attention. Sam moved through the building one last time, checking security protocols and ensuring every system was functioning. His work had gone unnoticed, yet he had preserved the company's most critical asset. The contrast between his quiet diligence and the CEO's relentless search highlighted the irony of the situation. The person Nora sought had been under her nose the entire time, unseen and unrecognized. By the end of the day, Nora had gathered all the evidence she needed. She reviewed the logs, cross-referenced data, and prepared to confront the person who had been silently managing the project. Sam, unaware of her discovery, continued his routine, performing his work with care and patience. The story was approaching a turning point, where recognition, revelation, and change would collide unexpectedly. The next morning, sunlight streamed through the tall windows of Luminex Corporation. Nora walked through the polished hallways, her tablet in hand, determination clear in her stride. The evidence she had gathered the night before pointed to a truth she could barely believe. The project that had caused so much turmoil and expense was connected to someone she had overlooked every day. She could feel her heart racing as the realization settled in. Sam moved quietly with his cleaning cart, methodically tending to each hallway. He had become accustomed to working unseen and unrecognized, his focus entirely on the project he had been protecting. He wiped tables, organized supplies, and polished floors while maintaining a careful watch over the digital systems. His movements were calm and deliberate, revealing nothing of the extraordinary skill beneath his simple appearance. Nora paused in the hallway, noticing Sam working near the server room. Something in his posture caught her attention. She studied him carefully, recalling all the times she had passed him without notice. Her mind reeled at the thought that the person she had ignored might hold the key to the project. She approached cautiously, unsure of how to confront someone who had been invisible for so long. Sam glanced up and offered his usual polite smile. He did not know that Nora had discovered the truth, and he continued to organize the supplies neatly. There was a quiet confidence in the way he moved, a calm precision that spoke of careful planning and intelligence. Nora watched him for a moment, realizing that this ordinary-seeming man had been the unseen guardian of the company's most valuable asset. Nora spoke firmly, calling Sam over. He approached with the same calm and respectful demeanor he always displayed. She asked him directly about the project files and the unusual activity she had traced to the cleaning area. Sam explained his actions carefully, describing how he had accessed the files to protect and improve the project. He emphasized that he never intended to harm the company or take credit. Shock and amazement washed over Nora as she listened. She struggled to process the revelation that the janitor she had ignored was the very person she had been searching for. Her mind replayed every interaction, every overlooked greeting, and she felt a mix of disbelief and admiration. Sam's intelligence, dedication, and discretion had been hidden in plain sight, and now it could no longer be ignored. Nora invited Sam to her office, and they began a detailed review of the project. He explained the adjustments he had made, the security measures he had strengthened, and the improvements he had implemented. Every step he described revealed extraordinary skill and careful thought. Nora realized that his contributions had elevated the project far beyond what she had imagined. The board was called for an urgent meeting. Nora presented the discovery with a mixture of astonishment and respect. Sam explained his work and the reasons he had remained in the background. The board members were amazed, acknowledging his talent and foresight. What had once seemed like a problem beyond solution had now been resolved by someone no one had noticed. Sam's promotion was immediate. He was assigned to lead the project officially, gaining the recognition and authority he deserved. Employees who had once overlooked him began to understand the depth of his skills. Nora personally ensured that he received full credit for his work, recognizing the irony that the person she had ignored daily had solved a problem that had cost the company millions. The project progressed with remarkable speed under Sam's leadership. His insights and careful planning ensured that every stage was executed flawlessly. Nora observed him closely, learning from his methodical approach and attention to detail. The office atmosphere transformed as employees saw that intelligence and dedication could come from any position, not just those with titles and prestige. Nora and Sam developed a strong professional respect for one another. She learned the importance of looking beyond appearances and assumptions, while he appreciated her willingness to acknowledge his contributions. Together, they worked to ensure the project's success, combining her leadership with his technical brilliance. The company began to thrive, exceeding expectations in every metric. The story of the missing project became well known within the company. It served as a lesson that talent can exist in unexpected places and that assumptions based on appearances can be misleading. Sam's quiet diligence and exceptional skill were celebrated, and employees felt inspired to contribute fully, regardless of their position. The culture of Luminex Corporation shifted toward inclusion and recognition of hidden potential. Nora often reflected on her past actions, realizing how easy it had been to overlook someone who did not fit her preconceived notions. She became more attentive, listening to employees at all levels and seeking input from those she might have previously ignored. Her leadership evolved as a result, and the company benefited from a more collaborative and thoughtful environment. Sam continued his work with humility and focus. He no longer had to remain unnoticed, yet he retained the same careful, deliberate approach that had earned him recognition. His success was a reminder that true talent is not always visible and that patience, skill, and dedication can achieve remarkable outcomes, even when hidden in plain sight. The project, now complete, transformed the company's operations. Innovations and improvements Sam had implemented revolutionized processes and strengthened security. Clients were impressed by the efficiency and quality of results, and investors praised the leadership of Nora and Sam. The company's reputation soared, and the lessons learned from this experience shaped its culture for years to come. Nora and Sam often walked through the office together, discussing strategy and planning future projects. Their partnership was based on mutual respect and a shared understanding of what had occurred. The story of the janitor who had solved a multimillion-dollar problem became a symbol of unexpected brilliance and the power of observing and valuing everyone's contributions. Employees spoke of the event for months, inspired by the example of Sam's quiet perseverance and Nora's eventual recognition. New hires were reminded that dedication and skill could be recognized, even if their work initially went unnoticed. The tale encouraged collaboration, humility, and attentiveness, ensuring that no talent would be ignored again. Nora personally made changes in company policy to ensure employees at all levels were heard. Meetings included input from staff in various positions, and recognition programs highlighted contributions regardless of title. The company culture shifted to one where diligence and innovation were rewarded fairly. Sam's example set the standard, demonstrating that great contributions can come from anywhere. The janitor who had been invisible became a leader who inspired others. Sam's story traveled outside the company, capturing attention in industry circles. Articles and interviews highlighted his ingenuity, dedication, and humility. People admired his ability to solve problems quietly and effectively, proving that appearances are not always a measure of capability. Nora learned a valuable lesson about humility and observation. She understood the importance of paying attention to those around her and recognizing contributions from all levels. Her leadership became more inclusive, attentive, and effective. The company thrived under this new approach, achieving success beyond what she had anticipated. Sam continued to lead with calm confidence. His approach remained thoughtful and measured, ensuring that the company's projects were secure and efficient. He remained approachable and supportive of colleagues, teaching by example. His story became part of the company's culture, reminding everyone that diligence, intelligence, and patience are sometimes hidden behind simple appearances. As the months passed, Luminex Corporation became a model for innovation and collaboration. The project that had once caused stress and expense became the foundation for a new era of success. Sam and Nora's partnership symbolized the power of recognizing talent wherever it may exist. The company celebrated achievement, humility, and careful attention to detail, values that had been demonstrated by a janitor who never sought recognition. Sam's work ethic inspired employees at every level. He encouraged others to take initiative and to approach tasks with precision and care. Nora continued to support him and recognized the importance of fostering talent in unexpected places. Together, they created an environment where skill, effort, and dedication were always noticed and appreciated. The office floors, once simply cleaned by Sam's hands, now carried a deeper significance. They symbolized the journey from invisibility to recognition. Employees understood that careful observation, quiet effort, and integrity could achieve results that no one else could. Sam's story became a permanent lesson in the value of looking beyond appearances and understanding true potential. Through this experience, both Nora and Sam changed. Nora became more thoughtful, inclusive, and observant, while Sam gained recognition, respect, and the ability to lead projects openly. Their combined efforts ensured that Luminex Corporation not only survived a critical challenge but grew stronger, wiser, and more innovative than ever before. The project's completion marked a turning point in the company's history. What had once been a source of anxiety and expense became a symbol of unexpected brilliance and collaboration. Sam's journey from unnoticed janitor to recognized leader became an enduring story of patience, intelligence, and quiet determination. Employees continued to tell the story, inspired by the lesson it conveyed. The company thrived, grounded in the principles of recognition, observation, and inclusion. Sam and Nora's partnership set a standard for leadership and teamwork, demonstrating that greatness often exists where it is least expected. The lessons from this story echoed beyond Luminex Corporation. Sam's example reminded others in every workplace that skill and dedication can be hidden in plain sight, and that recognition and opportunity can transform lives. Nora's growth as a leader proved the importance of humility, attention, and open-mindedness in guiding others and achieving success. The office was filled with quiet energy as the morning sun poured through the tall windows. Employees moved with purpose, carrying documents and tablets, preparing for another day of work. Nora entered the building with a confident stride, her mind focused on the progress of the project that had once caused so much stress. The company had changed, and so had she, learning lessons she would never forget. Sam moved quietly through the hallways, his cleaning cart rolling smoothly behind him. Though his work seemed ordinary to others, it had become the backbone of the company's security and efficiency. He wiped surfaces, organized supplies, and maintained equipment with care. Every small action was performed with attention and precision, reflecting his dedication to his work and the trust that now existed between him and the leadership. Nora had called a special meeting to celebrate the completion of the project and to recognize the contributions that had gone unnoticed for so long. Employees gathered in the large conference room, curious about the announcement. Sam quietly entered, his usual calm demeanor in place, unaware of the admiration and respect he was about to receive. The atmosphere was one of anticipation and excitement. When Nora began to speak, she shared the story of the project, explaining how it had gone missing and how the company had searched tirelessly for answers. She spoke of the millions spent, the efforts of the investigators, and the frustration that had consumed her. Then she paused, her gaze meeting Sam's, and revealed the truth that would surprise everyone. Sam had been the one who had discovered, protected, and improved the project all along. He had done so quietly, without seeking recognition, simply because he cared about the company and the work itself. Employees listened in astonishment as Nora described his efforts, understanding for the first time that the solution had been right under their noses the entire time. The room erupted in applause. Sam's colleagues, who had once overlooked him, now saw him in a new light. Nora personally thanked him for his intelligence, dedication, and humility. She explained that his work had not only saved the company millions, but had also ensured the success and security of a project that would define the future of Luminex Corporation. Sam stood quietly, a modest smile on his face. He acknowledged the appreciation but remained humble, emphasizing that his goal had always been to protect the project, not to gain recognition. His words impressed everyone in the room, reflecting a character built on integrity and responsibility. The admiration for him was genuine and deep. After the celebration, Nora invited Sam to take a more formal leadership role within the company. She offered him a position where his skills could be fully utilized and recognized. Sam accepted, knowing that he could now contribute openly and guide the project to its full potential. His journey from unnoticed janitor to respected leader was complete, a transformation that inspired all who witnessed it. The company culture began to shift as a result of this revelation. Employees were reminded that skill and dedication could exist in any role, and that careful observation and respect for everyone's contributions were essential. Meetings included voices from all levels, and new policies were introduced to ensure recognition of hidden talent. The lessons learned from Sam's experience shaped the future of Luminex Corporation. Nora and Sam began working closely together, combining her strategic leadership with his technical expertise. They planned new projects, improved systems, and introduced innovative approaches to the company's work. Their partnership became a model of collaboration, showing that respect, trust, and open communication could achieve remarkable results. Sam's calm and methodical approach to work set a standard for others. Employees observed his attention to detail, his patience, and his dedication to completing tasks thoroughly. He encouraged others to do their best, regardless of position or title, creating an environment where everyone felt empowered to contribute and innovate. Nora continued to grow as a leader. She became more attentive to the people around her, learning to value insight from all levels of the company. She encouraged creativity, welcomed new ideas, and fostered a culture of collaboration. The experience with Sam had taught her that leadership required humility, observation, and the ability to recognize talent wherever it might exist. The project that had once caused so much stress now became a symbol of achievement and transformation. Its success reinforced the importance of careful planning, attention to detail, and teamwork. Sam's contributions were integrated into every aspect of the company's operations, ensuring that the work he had done would have a lasting impact. Employees often reflected on the story of Sam and the missing project. It became part of the company's culture, a story shared with new hires to emphasize the importance of diligence, integrity, and patience. The lesson was clear: greatness could exist anywhere, and recognition should not be limited to those with titles or prestige. Sam continued to perform his work with humility, never letting recognition alter his approach. He led by example, demonstrating that careful, consistent effort could achieve results far beyond what others might expect. His journey served as a reminder that quiet dedication often holds the power to change lives and shape the future. Nora and Sam occasionally walked through the office together, discussing strategies, evaluating progress, and planning for new initiatives. Their partnership symbolized the balance between leadership and technical expertise, showing that success was not a solitary effort but a shared achievement. Employees saw this collaboration and felt inspired to contribute fully. The office itself became a symbol of transformation. The polished floors, organized spaces, and efficient systems reflected the care and attention of those who worked there. Sam's influence was present everywhere, not just in the systems he had maintained, but in the culture he helped shape. The company thrived as a result, becoming a model for innovation, collaboration, and respect for all employees. Nora's leadership evolved as well. She continued to seek input from employees at all levels, encouraging participation, and valuing insight from unexpected sources. Her ability to recognize hidden talent strengthened the company and built a culture of trust and respect. Luminex Corporation became known not just for its projects, but for its values and inclusive leadership. Sam's story spread beyond the company. Industry leaders and journalists shared the tale of the janitor who had solved a multi-million-dollar problem. People admired his intelligence, dedication, and humility. His example became a source of inspiration, showing that talent could exist anywhere and that patience and quiet effort could achieve extraordinary results. The company celebrated milestones with Sam as a key figure in its success. His contributions were acknowledged formally, and he became a mentor for others. Employees learned from his example, understanding that careful work, integrity, and attention to detail were as important as skill and knowledge. His story encouraged everyone to strive for excellence. Nora and Sam continued to collaborate on future projects. Their partnership demonstrated the value of combining strategic vision with technical skill. They tackled new challenges with confidence, learning from past experiences, and ensuring that every project benefited from their complementary strengths. The company flourished under their guidance. Employees often spoke about the lessons they had learned from Sam's journey. The story emphasized the importance of recognizing the contributions of every individual, regardless of role or title. It reinforced the idea that patience, observation, and integrity could achieve results that might otherwise go unnoticed. Sam's example became a guiding principle for all. The company's achievements grew over time, thanks to the combined efforts of Nora, Sam, and the entire staff. Projects were completed efficiently, systems improved, and innovative solutions implemented. The culture of recognition, respect, and collaboration ensured that employees felt valued and empowered to contribute their best work. Sam remained humble and focused, never letting praise distract him from his responsibilities. He continued to ensure that systems ran smoothly and that projects were executed with care and precision. His example inspired a generation of employees to approach their work with dedication, patience, and pride in every task, no matter how small it seemed. The city of Metronia recognized Luminex Corporation as a leading example of innovation and collaboration. Its success was not only measured by profits but by the culture of respect and recognition that had been established. Sam's story, along with Nora's growth as a leader, became a model for companies everywhere seeking to nurture talent and build strong, inclusive teams. The project that had once been lost now stood as a testament to perseverance, intelligence, and quiet dedication. Sam's journey from unnoticed janitor to celebrated leader became a story shared widely, demonstrating that success is not limited to those invisible roles. The lesson was clear: talent can exist anywhere, and recognition can transform lives. Nora continued to lead with insight and humility. She learned to value every perspective and to seek out hidden talent. Her ability to recognize potential in unexpected places strengthened the company and ensured its continued success. Together with Sam, she guided Luminex Corporation toward a future full of innovation, collaboration, and respect. The employees thrived in this new culture. They approached work with enthusiasm and pride, knowing that their efforts would be noticed and valued. Sam's influence was felt in every department, inspiring careful, thoughtful, and consistent work. The lessons learned from the missing project and its unexpected solution shaped the company's future for years to come. Sam's dedication and humility remained constant. He continued to lead by example, mentoring others and ensuring that the company's operations remained secure and efficient. His story reminded everyone that true skill and intelligence are not always obvious, and that quiet effort can have the most powerful impact. Nora and Sam's partnership became legendary within the company. Together, they demonstrated that recognition, respect, and collaboration are essential for success. The project that had once caused stress and expense became a symbol of achievement, patience, and the power of looking beyond appearances. Luminex Corporation grew stronger with each passing year. The values of integrity, dedication, and inclusion, exemplified by Sam's journey, became embedded in every part of the company. Employees felt inspired to contribute fully, knowing that their work mattered and that recognition could come to anyone who showed skill, care, and commitment. The story of the janitor who saved a multi-million-dollar project continued to inspire. It reminded employees and leaders alike that brilliance is not always visible, and that patience, intelligence, and dedication can achieve extraordinary results. Sam's journey became a permanent lesson in humility, observation, and the value of every individual.